Here we go.
The stream is live.
It says live. Hopefully we're live, and if anyone is watching, let us know you're here. I'm coming through StreamYard, so it may not show us your name, but if you could say who you are and that you're watching, that would be fabulous. I have with me today for our very first Wellness Wednesday expert conversation. Thank you, Julie, for being the first. Julie Nelson, artisan botanical perfumer, astrologer. She's a woman of many talents, consultant, speaker, educator, and also artist. And yes, you're very creative. I've been in one of your tribes where we've experienced that beautiful creativity, and also a creator of tarot cards.
Oracle deck.
Oracle deck. Okay, I was going to ask you about that, what you call that, Oracle deck. So, and we'll probably talk a little bit about how you use them. So I can see we do have someone watching. So please say hi. Maybe I should check my phone. And so welcome to this beautiful conversation, raising your vibration through the magical power of scent. And I know this is going to be incredible, and I know this is going to be beneficial to our women in this group because, all of these tools that we learn are very important for us to work through our overwhelm and anxiety. So if you've got a pen and paper, you might want to take some notes. And Julie's going to start with, I want to ask Julie to start with how she got into this profession, this beautiful profession, because it's actually a very feminine profession too, isn't it? Like the energy of femininity and scent and all of that. Yeah. How did you get into this, Julie, for our viewers?
It is. Because I work with the sacred sensual woman. So back in 1988, this is a long story, but I'm going to keep it really quick. Okay. I had my beautiful daughter, and she was the youngest and smallest TOF baby born in Australia that I am aware of. And TOF means tracheoesophageal fistula. And she was quite preemie. And then at 6 months, she was diagnosed with chronic lung disease. So a second life-threatening condition. Yeah. When she was about 2, I think, I had been introduced to essential oils, and I just fell in love with them. The scent. I noticed how much that I responded and that my daughter responded. And literally within weeks of discovering essential oils, and I was looking for my purpose, just after Saturn return. And I thought, this is what I'm going to do, because the thing is that I kept being told that my daughter might not survive. And there's been several times through her life where I've been told to call in the family, she's not going to make it, blah, blah, blah. So as a fierce mother, it was like I couldn't just rely on modern medicine. I brought in everything. But it was, sorry, I feel like I've got a hair on my mouth. It was that I thought my purpose was being a mother to a child with a life-threatening condition, but it ends up that I am on purpose with what I do, because not long after I discovered essential oils, I applied to do my diploma. Now, keep in mind, I was a single mum. I wasn't working because we lived in and out of hospital. So I just went to the college and I said, this is what I want to do. This is my situation. And they went, that's okay. We can help you. And I worked as a student helper. So basically I worked for free, but they paid me like $10 back then an hour for all. I didn't get that money. It was deducted off my fees. So that's how I paid for most of my diploma, through working as a student helper.
Wow.
And it was amazing because everything fell into place for me. So I did my diploma, and I also started studying astrology, and I did other things as well. So that was the beginning of it, how I got into it, and I haven't gone back since.
And an incredible example of anything is possible. If you want it bad enough, you can create it. And your drive because of her illness, which is really horrific. And who would think, you know, two things in one short lifetime could be so, you know, yeah, it's
hard to imagine unless you live it. It's, you know, and it was a big eye opener living in and out of hospital with her, and realizing that there were so many babies that were born with, oh my God, it was phenomenal.
No,
anyway.
It's very, very sad, isn't it? And that's another conversation, really, isn't it? You know, why these things happen. But yeah, your tenacity in finding a way to study what was working for you, and there still is, obviously, this many, how many, 20-something, 30 years later, is it?
31 years I've been qualified in clinical aromatherapy.
Incredible. So so big. I just want to honor you for that, because that was a massive feat. But yeah, let's just dive into, you know, how we can raise our vibration through the magical power of scent and perfume, whether you're using, I mean, you mentioned you started with oils, the
essential oils,
and then moved into the art of creating the perfumes, right? And then blending it with the astrology. That's another thing I want to ask you about soon too. So yeah, just on that, let's talk about what specifically. Let's ask, what specifically do you mean? Well, we can raise our vibration in many different ways. So using scent, what can you share? What specifically, how that works in raising your vibration?
So what we're doing, first of all, this is the science part of it. So I bring the art and science and the magic together. So the science, we're working with our olfactory, which is our sense of smell, which, by the way, is our strongest sense, but often very underrated and not really acknowledged, because we're smelling consistently. And by the by, when I studied aromatherapy diploma, it was understood that the human nose could detect up to 10,000 different aromas, not all at once. Wow. Now it's up in the trillions.
Wow.
That's how powerful. Yeah. It's phenomenal. And so when we breathe in or inhale a molecule from a perfume, and I only refer to natural, I don't support commercial perfumery, or synthetics. So when we inhale any scent, just very briefly to understand that the molecules become a gaseous substance and pass through into the olfactory bulbs, which there are two that sit here, and they're about 1.5 centimeters big. And then they are converted into electrical impulses that go into our limbic brain. And there's an area, so our thalamus is where we perceive a smell, we can name it, and that's through training. And the hypothalamus is the control center of feelings such as anger and sexual feelings, digestive activity, body temperature, some hormonal production and release, and more. So it's very powerful. You can imagine that as we're taking this in, and that goes down into our nervous system. So they're very powerful for strengthening our nervous system, our immune system. And there's a lot of more research being done where they're saying, and I so get it, is that with certain things, we don't even need to apply the essential oils. We can simply smell them, which, by the way, is an incredibly safe method as well, through dry inhalations. You can you don't snort it like you're putting something naughty up your nose. You gently waft it. And it's very powerful. And if you note, like right now, if you think about your favorite smell, like just close your eyes and just bring to your mind's eye your favorite smell, and take notice of how your body and mind responds. So, Jo, you are smiling. I find my shoulders drop, our breath can change, and that in itself is a very powerful physiological and emotional response just through inhaling like that.
It is very it's almost immediate too, isn't it? Like
it is immediate, it's instant.
I've got mine here, which I put on before we came on, but even just like you said, that woof, it's like you can actually feel your nervous system relaxing. You can feel like it's a physical response as well as a mental response, like
energetic on every level.
Yeah.
Just remember, these are bottles of energy.
Exactly.
Well.
Exactly. Just like us. Like
they
we are vibrating energy all the time, and every second, every millisecond. So is everything. Yeah. So,
everything does. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's very, like, I love the science because it just I guess clarifies and it gives you that back knowledge of the power of scent, but also the power of how we can use it as well for
on
our
safely. I mean, there's all the there's different applications, but we don't have time to go into that, so we'll focus on the olfactory. And I'll show you a little ritual during this conversation as well.
Fantastic. Because
I'm not going to say a little ritual. I'm going to say a powerful ritual that takes a very small amount of time.
Okay, great. Because that was one of my questions about ritual today. So if we might leave that to the end, then we can, have the ritual experience at the same time. Because for me, ritual is also in alignment with intention. Like a ritual without an intention is just really
nothing.
Thank you. Nothing. So we want to make sure that the intention behind the ritual is stated, but we'll talk about that. I'm really interested to know more about the botanical side. Where you, like, because you make your scent, yes, and sourcing the botanicals. And I know because you're on the more aligned with your natural way, and which is beautiful, and the planet and all of the stuff. So how did you, do you have to get them overseas? How did you, or do you grow?
There's a lot of suppliers, and I might upset people here, but that's me, is I am an advocate.
Sorry, so I'm going to interrupt. Unapologetically Julie, because that's her motto. Unapologetically.
Yes. Absolutely, I'm unapologetic, and I'm very much active in supporting my body of work for all of qualified people, because one of the dangers we have worldwide is the multi-level marketing companies and people selling and recommending the oils for and their uses that are incorrect. And now we have a very high poisoning rate in Australia, where the Queensland government a couple of years ago had to put out a report because it's that bad. And so first and foremost, I'm going to say to you, don't take any notice of anybody that's not a qualified aromatherapist. They may be right, most likely, and most often they're not. And this is why we're having so many problems, and it's actually very much destroying, it already has, our field of work, and many beautiful small businesses in Australia have shut down because of it, and we're supposed to be supporting that, not eliminating them. And I come from an ethical view as well, where unapologetically, I'll say it is absolutely unethical for somebody to recommend how to use essential oils if they're not qualified.
Yep.
Especially, and I'm just going to say this, do not put essential oils into water and drink it. They do not disperse in oil. And what happens is when you drink them, the globules of the oil attach to your esophagus and your gut, and over time can cause ulceration.
Yeah, that's a
the liver and kidney.
Important message, because I know a lot of oils out there suggest that you can ingest them. You can put them in food and la 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 la. But
well, it's a waste to put them in food, to be honest with you, because heat, when you're using heat, if you're cooking, the heat completely destroys the properties of the essential oils. Why not use herbs? What a bloody waste. I'm just
that's true. That's true. Because the other side of this is the skin is the largest organ in the body, right? Of the body. So using them on your body is probably a more powerful way to get them in.
Yes, and it depends on what you're treating. Yep. So it all depends on what your outcome for the essential oils is, as to what application you use. So we've got body bathing, foot bathing, hand baths, direct application to a small area, full body application, inhalations, dry or steam inhalations. Then we've got to look at everybody's contraindications. And one of the things I love about perfumery, when we use absolutely natural botanical products, and a lot that even are on the shelf commercially that say they're natural, I can tell you now by law they have to have a minimum percentage of preservative in them, and it's not always natural. So again, I refuse. I've had many opportunities over the decades to put my stuff into shops, and I just go no, because for me it loses the integrity of what my mission is.
Yep.
So, and coming back to buying essential oils, there are a few companies in Australia, and sadly, a lot of our small, long-standing essential oil suppliers have closed down, or they've sold out because of multi-level marketing. But I can certainly put some into the comments. There's a Senzapura whom I've bought from for over 30 years. Aroma is a very big company that has taken on 3 or 4 of the small companies that I know of that were original suppliers. And most essential oils come from brokers. And that's why I don't buy a lot in Australia. I buy very little. And quite frankly, you'll find that even the multi-level marketing ones come from brokers. Do not believe that they have their own fields, that they grow crops and all of this. What they do is buy crops. They pay the growers for a crop. It's not theirs. Okay, so there's a lot of misguided information.
But I'm on the view that when you're blending an oil for someone specifically, and the reason why you would use a qualified professional like yourself is so that you could really fine tune and support them in what they need, rather than just get this oil, that oil, not really know how to use it. But you can support them in having the exact oils, essential oils and perfumes that they need for their specific manifesto, whatever they want to create in their life to raise their vibration. And that's really important, that the difference they have you as a support person. It's like me being a coach. You have that person to support them through the journey and refine and tweak and magically create what's specific for them, their body, their needs. Is that That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
custom. They're custom made. And so if you simply want a beautiful smell and you align with it, then that's fine. I have 4 perfume. I actually have 5 perfume collections. One of them's not even on my website, and it seems to be the one that I sell the most of because I wear them. But so, and that's good. And on because they're multi-dimensional, they'll work on different levels. And if you love a smell, it's immediately going to support your body, mind, and soul. However, if you want something specific, then it's really narrowing it down and getting it to suit you. So it really is, I like to say, a signature.
Yes, so like that.
Because I look at astrology, it's like it's attached to it's a part of your blueprint.
That was my next question. You're already one step ahead of me all the way. And I knew this conversation was going to just go like that because we vibrate at a certain energy together. So perfect. Blending astrology with perfume. It's beautiful. And we maybe tell the listeners a little bit about that and how you do that.
Okay. So first of all, it's important to understand that you're not just your star sign, your sun sign, your birth sign. That is a very small part of who you are. And the reason why it's often hard to pick somebody's sun sign is because they're either not living in it or they're kind of denying it. And with astrology, I look at many points, and it's layer upon layer upon layer, just as the essential oils and the perfumes are. They're all multidimensional. So what I will look at is somebody's birth chart. Depending on what they want to manifest as well, I'll look at the transit. So our birth chart is here, and that's where the planets were at the time of your birth, and that never changes. It's a blueprint. It doesn't predict. Think of these as archetypal qualities and energies that are a part of your makeup, and it's like a map. You can choose to tap into them at any time. So we have what's called either a rising or ascendant sign, and that's what we need our time of birth for. And that is how we present ourselves to the world, how people perceive us, and we'll often have physiological attributes. So for those that don't believe it, many scientists and astronomers have tried to disprove astrology, and nobody has ever been able to. And a few decades ago, there were 2 French astronomers that set out to disprove astrology. They spent 10 years researching and ended up writing a book on astrology. And astrology and astronomy used to be one. Just as astrology used to be a part of the Hippocratic Oath, and it's been removed. So, and scientists, even though they still won't admit to the energy of astrology or the energy of essential oils or the energy of food, they have proven that energy exists and have been talking about it for over a century. So they're really shooting themselves in the foot because they say one thing and then another. We know why. Another conversation. So what was the question?
Blending the perfume with the
and astrology. Yeah. So then we have the moon. So the rising sign that I just talked about is how we start off in life and how we present and how people perceive us. Then through our life, we strive to master the qualities of our sun sign. Some people get that and some people don't. Some people never get to that point. Perhaps they are people that may not they don't give a shit about growing or learning or whatever. Yeah. They don't believe in it, so they cut it off. That's their journey. Yeah. The moon is how we deal with things on it's our intuition, it's our feelings, our emotions. And again, science says there's no proof, yet there is plenty of proof that we are affected by the cycles of the moon. Right? There is no doubt. Women with their menstrual cycles, police have more arrests, hospitals have more emergencies, nursing homes have more, with dementia and that, where they just go off it on full moons. And so there is no denying it. And the thing is that essential oils have planetary associations, astrological associations. So, and I also look at our elemental ratio, which is how many earth, air, fire, water. Some people are balanced, some are very unbalanced like me, where I only have one earth. So I'm often out there with the pixies or down in the deep, dark ocean, and I'm very conscious of that. So every day I work to keep myself grounded in earth. And it's really powerful to understand that. And again, this is all, the oils are associated to earth, air, fire, water. We have all of these elements. Everything does, but we can be predominant in some.
Yeah, wow.
So using the essential oils and creating the perfumes can work a lot to help bring homeostasis, balance into your every part of your being. I love to work with Venus and Lilith as well, which a lot of astrologers don't bring Lilith into it. And there's also the North Node and the South Node. The North Node is your soul path in this lifetime and what you're here to master on a soul level, whereas your sun sign is the physical plane. So they're just a few little tidbits that we can bring in. I look at where the transits are, depending on how deep they want to go, what package they get. And, it can go very deep.
It can go very deep. It can go very deep. It's like, I love deep. I'm a deep diver in everything. So I love it. And then you create the blend, is what I'm hearing, that supports the person, which is incredible. That's amazing. And I remember you did a chart. You did a chart for me once, and there was just so much information in it. Like there was so, and then you said, well, you need more of this. I'm like, yeah, okay. And that's where then you go, well, where you source it from, or you take one of your blends that you've already created, right?
Yeah, because we can easily, I can choose one of my perfume collections, and sometimes I'll even tweak one of those for people that financially can't do the bigger packages. I can tweak the collections as well, so therefore it's still a signature perfume.
Wow.
And it does cost a little bit more again, because I'm putting time and
energy
and more essential oils. But there's ways around it, and it's a very powerful process, a very empowering process. And that's what I love, when you get all the aha moments and the feedback. It's and when I studied aromatherapy, some aromatherapists are very scientific, some are very more into the body systems, whereas for me, right from the beginning, I wanted to teach it. I was a lecturer in it for 13 years, and but blending was my forte. It just came naturally. I didn't have to struggle. It was something that was very easy for me to do, and some people can't. So many aromatherapists have their own talents within that realm of being an aromatherapist.
Incredible. I love that. I totally love it. And so ladies, if this is resonating, and by the way, if you have any questions for Julie, pop them in the comments, because I'm sure she's in the group, so she can come and answer them for you. If anything's come up for you, you want to ask. But if this resonates and you want to use scent as one of your tools to raise your vibration, because when our vibration is at its, when we're raising our vibration, because vibration, we think it's raising, but it's actually we're
expanding
our energy field, right? So that we can attract more goodness into our lives, right? Attract good things and break those cycles of the past, right? And what you've brought through. And just have a conversation about it. Talk to Julie. Go join her group. We'll be putting all the links in below anyways.
Yeah.
And
I love talking and sharing about my passion. And it is such a powerful tool for us to have in our toolkit.
Yeah.
I was going to share something else because you mentioned something. It'll come back. It'll come back.
But on that, you can, like for me at home, I use oils. I burn oils, in my environment. My favorite is lavender because it's really uplifting, and I burn that a lot. If I'm feeling a bit blah, I'll just put something in the oil burner, and it also clears the energy of the house, of your world. But the other thing is, yes, a nurturer. And I also carry my oil in my bag. All right. So not often I need it, but if I know I'm going into an environment like a shopping center, which I avoid like the plague, I will use my oils to calm myself down, because I know my nervous system is going to get a bit intense in these environments if you're with a lot of, icky energy. So have it with you and use it when you need it. And those that are, in this group that are really struggling with anxiety and overwhelm, it could be a tool just to have on hand all the time.
Oh, sorry to interrupt you. Some things have come to my mind, and it is a powerful tool. So we'll mention anxiety and stress, and also intention and affirmations, okay? Because there's so much that I could share with this, but these are three powerful points. So essential oils have been recognized as being one of the most effective applications for anxiety and stress. And we know that high anxiety and high stress is a cause of cancer. So also they work beautifully with our immune system and our nervous system to help reduce anxiety and stress. So that's really, really important. They're very good for balancing. Some of them are balancing the nervous system. They have many properties that cross over. So if you don't like the smell of one, you can find another. And often when we're working for specific things as an aromatherapist, we will, like, say, for example, if I wanted something that was a really powerful anxiety blend, three off the top of my head, and there are more, but geranium, because its keyword is balance and it balances the nervous system. Bergamot, another one, because it's the oil of joy, forever young, and these are all strengthening the nervous system, but they help to balance. And then neroli, and then there's rose and ylang ylang, like there's many, but and you can create beautiful blends with those. Now, this is something I say too. If you are creating your own blends, it's very important. If you want it for a specific thing, like you have a specific intention. So if it's to manifest something, if you want to do some work on manifesting, what's something, Joe? Give me something and I'll just, because I can do it off the top of my head.
Okay, so you want to manifest Okay, so you want to manifest a relationship.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. A lot of people ask for love, money, and relationships. Okay. Yeah. And that's why I laugh, because it's like, yeah, okay. All right. So what we want to do, I know it's an easy one to come up with. So first of all, we want to get really clear with the intention, because what we're doing when we're working with the power of scent is we're retraining the brain. So do you want me to go into the ritual now? Because I can
actually, let's do one that most people want. Because I'm in I don't need a relationship. I mean, like, relationship is with people in general, right?
Yeah,
so
but it can be with yourself. Yeah.
Sorry. Yes. So why don't we do like money?
Okay, so let's do money. So there's two ways. That's perfect. My bottle leaked, but this is a little blend that I made personally for myself, because I'm running a course called Goddess Alchemy, and we're working with 16 goddesses. And this is one I did for Lakshmi, and I even did a sigil for her, which is a magical symbol. And Lakshmi is the goddess of abundance, wealth, and so on. And prosperity, and that can be in all areas of your life. But let's say for money, which it was for me. So I've created a blend, and I have it on this is my nighttime blend, because it's got a lot of very calming, relaxing oils. And I have an image of Lakshmi on my bedside table as well. So every night when I go to bed, this is called an anointing perfume. I put some on my wrist. Mm-hmm. Like a drop is all you need, because a drop goes a very long way. Just let me grab that lid. And then, so my intention is, so money, you don't even have to mention money. So what I usually do is clients, and you can put a date with it or not. So I put the drop on, I gently rub it together. I inhale it. Mm-hmm. I speak or write my intention. Generally, when I'm in bed, I speak it, and I can speak it out loudly or in my mind. And it's like, I'll have it written out specifically, as in, I am now receiving more than enough clients.
Yep.
To work with. So I've said that, then I'm going to smell it again. And then the residue I'll just wipe on me.
Wow. It's like an anointing yourself and just embodying that, right? When you do that.
Yeah. But what we're doing is, and this is where the ritual is giving attention to your intention. The smell is anchoring your intention into your brain. So that what happens is, it might happen with just one application. It may happen after a few. For me, it happens very quickly, but I've been doing this practice for 30 plus years. So every time you smell that smell, it's triggered and comes to the front lobe, the front part of your brain. So you're activating it.
Retraining it. Yeah.
You're retraining your brain. You're creating neural pathways, and you're strengthening them. So there's the art, the science, the pleasure, because it is so pleasurable and empowering. And there's so many luscious words that it just makes you feel so good. You know, when we smell something or taste something that we love, we just like, it ripples through our body, and that ripples beyond us. So think of like heart math, and we were talking about that expansion, the energy ripples out. And when you want to manifest, it's important not to get into it where you've got to think about it all the time and you're feeling a bit desperate. This actually can alleviate that, because it's just like,
Yeah.
And you don't even intentionally. Sometimes I just get a waft of it on me. If I move my hand or I'm outside, I forget. And then suddenly it's like, oh, yes, clients are coming to me. I have more than enough clients to work with on a weekly, monthly basis. And so there's, and as you say that and you acknowledge it,
you feel it.
You feel it. And the energy, energy becomes matter, and matter manifests.
Exactly. I love that. Oh my goodness. So what a great ritual. Like ladies. Oh, look at that.
And you can do it with a spray as well. Sorry.
Okay.
So with the spray, how I do it, just a couple of squirts. My perfumes are very, very high dilution, so you don't need a lot. What it does is it falls down over your hair, so it stays in it all day, but you can smell it. And again, it's like breathe it in, speak your intention.
Yes.
And just notice it and feel it in your body. And the other thing too is writing and speaking an intention. It activates different areas of our brain, so we're really enforcing it with that, and then the perfume anchors it in, and bang, it's phenomenal. It's powerful. You can seduce the world with your perfume. And it's giving attention to your intention in that way without desperateness, and you're feeling the pleasure, the beauty, the sexiness of it. Rather than feeling desperate.
Absolutely. Let go of it, because it's the act of the ritual that's doing all the work, right?
Yes.
And I was just thinking about, like, if something like manifesting wealth or more money or whatever is too big to even get your head around like now, because you're so much in your anxiety and overwhelm, then the intention could simply be, I'm intending to be calm and content and peaceful in my day as I go about my day.
Do the inner healing first. And you will start to notice a difference, because if you try to override that, like, it's very important to go and do the inner healing, go within, do that healing. If it's something, and often our limbic brain, it used to be known as our smell brain back in, beginning of time. Our limbic brain was much bigger than what it is now, and it was known as the smell brain, the survival brain. And so it still hasn't adapted fully. It's certainly gotten smaller, but it's always, this is where our negative chatter comes from, because its job is to protect us. So if we feel that we're not capable, the limbic brain is going to say, don't do it. So what I do, and it doesn't matter how much training you have, you still have to work with this. It's a lifetime of work. I will reframe what I've said. Even in the middle of a sentence, I can be talking to someone and go, I can't afford that. And then I go, wait, I'm going to reframe that. Currently, I haven't got the finances for that because they're going in another avenue. So be really mindful of our language. Remember, our words, thoughts, and feelings are our wand.
I have read that book many years ago. Your word is your wand.
I didn't even know there was a book. Somebody said to me, I just came out with that. And then somebody said to me, oh, yeah, that's so-and-so used to write that. And I went,
It's very small, but very powerful. But I actually have learned to reframe my money thing around, it's not in my budget right now, because for me, it's actually going to be, like, if I really want it, it'll be in my future budget. It's something I'm already programming in for when I am ready to get that thing. Right.
That's right.
That's right. That's a very important point, in reframing.
Being mindful of our language.
Saying it in the positive.
We think we create. We know this. It's like, and just if you can't get your head around it or you're struggling to understand that, think of this. Have you ever walked into a room or a building and gone, oh my God, I've got to get out of here because it feels awful?
Yes.
That is stagnant energy.
Yeah, that's like the shopping center for me.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. So energy is real. And of course, I use the essential oils I'm consistently cleansing my environment wherever I am, whether it be through words, usually through my oils and scents, or, in however, but it's like energy is matter.
Yes.
Energy isn't, sorry, it becomes matter.
Yes. It becomes, yes. So there's some gold in this conversation today. I think it's going to be landing for a lot of people, and so many different points and aspects to raising our vibration. And I have one last question before I go, and this is a fun question.
I love it. You know me, I can never stop talking about this.
I know.
Get in the room with me and you go, oh, fuck, I need to get it. Like,
no, not at all. I am absolutely positive that, this conversation is going to help so many people. But the question is around the spelling.
Yes.
And
spell crafting.
People think I'm making a spelling mistake. Like, no. That's how Julie does it. So tell me about the K on the end of the C.
Okay, so the K and spelling can be a bit confusing for people, so I say spell crafting. So the K on the end came from, I can't remember if it was Raymond Buckland or Aleister Crowley, to differentiate the difference between performed like a magician, that does tricks on stage, to what I call a witch, but you don't have to name yourself as a witch, because magic has been around since the beginning of time. It is not, and through Christianity and patriarchy, the term witch was put to women and men because they were people that the church and patriarchy felt threatened by, which is the history is huge and very fascinating. But the K was basically to differentiate the two. And magic, spell crafting, is exactly what we have just been talking about. There are many ways in which you can work with it. We are the magic. Yep. Our words are the magic. And then we have tools like divination, tools like cards and athames and wands and all different things. I have it all. Some people have crystals, I love it because I've got 5 Libra in my chart. It's yummy. It's very Venusian. So, that's the difference with the word, to differentiate. But magic, I just saw an ad on Facebook yesterday about the magic in Egypt and how this is nothing new. And I thought, well, hello, you're not telling me anything new, but they've made this movie series on it. And it's just like, I should be grateful that people are catching up on it, and I am, but it's just, magic is all around us.
Yeah.
You can feel the energy of the forest and the trees and plants. And, for me, that's what witchcraft is as well. It's honoring the earth and all that is, the seasons. I am a moon goddess. I work a lot with the moon. And Mother Nature is like so essential for me. And we have different things like earth, air, fire, water magic, like our Western way of working with the elements. That magic is real. A spell is simply what it says. It's words. We're spelling something out. So with our words, we are spelling something out with an intention. And sometimes they work very quickly and sometimes they don't. So what we have to do is, well, you don't have to do anything, but go within, because there's a reason. It could be our disbelief. I mean, I have this little formula where first we have to acknowledge perhaps we don't love ourselves enough. Then we've got to accept that. And when we accept that, we can do the inner healing to come to a place of self-love. When we are in self-love, which I fucking love myself, but I'm 66 this year. It's taken me a long time to get here, and why I'm unapologetic. But that self-love is what makes me unapologetic and unstoppable, because I know I'm worthy, and that worthiness also brings in the confidence. And when we have that is when we become a powerful manifester.
Oh my God, you've just... it's resonating so much. And, you know, I just love it because you can actually feel that self-love, right?
Yes.
It's a presence, it's an energy, and it's beautiful. And when we can get, and like you know, 63 this year, it's taken a long bloody time, because from the beginning I've always felt not good enough.
Yeah, me too. Most women are like that.
Exactly.
It's like, fuck patriarchy.
And we honor, it's a practice though, isn't it? Like, it's not a quick fix. It's something that we need to do. Ritual, intention, affirmation. What we have to do, the work, is what I bang on about.
It doesn't stop.
Never.
Yeah,
ever.
Sorry, Joe, I spoke over you because I get really excited. It doesn't stop. It's something that we need to keep doing on a daily basis, because you will notice if you stop.
Yes.
You become more dormant. And look, the thing is that when I was a little girl, I was very severely bullied by teachers and by kids. I was a tiny little mouse. I had courage at home, and I had a voice at home, and my mother nurtured all of our qualities. There were 7 kids, 7 of us, 6 girls and a boy. And but it was interesting. I had no confidence. I realized, but I didn't know this when I was a little girl, I didn't love myself. I didn't even know what that meant. And people would say to me, even as a teenager in my early 20s, when you find yourself, you'll know. Like, and I used to go, what the fuck?
What does that mean?
When you find yourself, like, what is that? You know? But I was too embarrassed to ask as well, whereas now it's like, geez, you know, come on. And especially for women, because we've been squashed forever. Women used to be matriarchy. So when I say squash the patriarchy, we need a balance of both. It's more that the systems need to be broken down and rebuilt. But that's, again, another thing.
That's another conversation for another time, isn't it, really? There's so much that we could...
So much.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. It just cut for a minute. I would just like to say, for anybody listening, work on your self-love. Do that in a healing, because when you're there, you become a very powerful manifester. It just happens. Sometimes it happens. Now, I'm a very powerful manifester, but there's couple of things in my life that I'm not great at manifesting, and it goes way, way back. So just keep going, love yourself, believe yourself, and know that you are powerful. You are the magic.
You are the magic. I love that. What a wonderful way to end, because that is just so profound. So I really want to thank you for joining us in this conversation today and helping these beautiful women here that are all here for that reason, to empower themselves to live that life of happiness, joy, peace, and freedom, and love yourself in the along the way. And I keep coming back to that in my work as well. Like, it all starts within. So thank you so much, Julie. Julie's going to pop all her links. Yeah, all her links in the comments, her group, your website where we can find these beautiful magical perfumes, and anything else that she wants to share.
My podcast.
Podcast, that's right. Julie's got a podcast as well. Incredible. So all the links will be there. Please click on them. Reach out to Julie if you want to know anything, or write your questions in the chat, and we'll be keeping an eye out for that.
And tag me, and that way it's easy for me to find them. And I'm always happy to answer questions. What I will say is I won't discuss physiological or medical problems. That requires a consultation.
That's fair enough.
I could lose my diploma.
No, that's an important part to know. So just anything to do with astrology, perfumery, manifestation, vibration, all the things we've been talking about. Magic, spells, wands. I love it. Oh, blessings to you all. And thank you so much, Julie. I really appreciate you taking the time to come in and support our group today. It's just been amazing.
You're very welcome. Like I said, you've probably noticed, it's hard to shut me up when I'm on a topic I'm passionate about.
No, but it's all very relevant and important conversation.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
It's my pleasure.
We'll see you all soon, and enjoy the rest of this gorgeous day.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.